Sami was browsing the internet looking for a new phone when he came across an irresistible deal. A modern phone in excellent condition for a low price. Without hesitation, he placed the order. 2 days later, the package arrived. The phone looked completely normal, but he noticed something strange. It lit up for a split second before he even turned it on, as if someone else had just been using it. He ignored it and started setting up the device. After turning it on, he found some old files still stored on it. Photos of a man he didn't recognize and deleted messages that kept appearing as notifications. He decided to wipe everything and start fresh. But that night he received a call from a private number. When he answered, all he could hear was faint, heavy breathing. The next night the call came again. This time the voice was clearer, whispering just one chilling sentence. "You shouldn't have bought this phone." A shiver ran down Sami's spine, but he convinced himself it was just a prank. However, the phone began acting strangely. It would light up randomly in the middle of the night, display cryptic notifications, and emit a low humming sound, as if it were trying to turn something on. Curious and unsettled, Sami decided to research the phone's previous owner. He discovered it once belonged to a man named Karim Sadi, who had died under mysterious circumstances 2 months ago. When he dug deeper into the case, he found out that the police had never recovered Karim's missing phone after his death. Terrified, Sami tried to get rid of the phone. He threw it in the trash, but the next morning, he found it neatly placed back on his table. Panicked, he hurled it into the river, only to return home and see it glowing ominously beside his bed. Days passed, and things only got worse. The voices on the phone became clearer. Strange images appeared in the gallery. Even the camera started capturing shadows moving in his room when he was completely alone. Desperate for a solution, he sought out an old man rumored to understand supernatural occurrences. The moment the man saw the phone, his expression darkened with fear. "This phone is not just a device," he said in a trembling voice. "It's a gateway. The spirit trapped inside it isn't looking for the phone, it's looking for a new body." The only way to break the curse, the man explained, was to return the phone to the place where its owner had died. After an exhausting search, Sami discovered that Karim had passed away in an abandoned apartment. At midnight, he arrived at the eerie, decayed building. The air was unnaturally cold, filled with the stench of mold. He stepped into the room where Karim had died and placed the phone in the center, his voice shaking as he whispered, "I've returned it. Please leave me alone." For a moment, everything fell into complete silence. Then the phone's screen flickered one last time before turning off completely. Sami let out a relieved sigh. Finally, it was over. He returned home, convinced that the nightmare had ended. For the first time in days, he slept peacefully, without any disturbances. But the next morning, his new phone lit up with an unfamiliar notification number. His fingers trembled as he reached for the phone. Before he could unlock it, the screen vibrated violently, and a message began typing on its own. "Thank you. Now, it's your turn." At that moment, the lights in his room flickered, and a wave of icy air swept over him. A slow, raspy breath echoed behind him.